You need a balance between all three legs or all three pillars in order to have that true freedom. And that is why the 24/7 hustle culture isn't sustainable. Because with that, you're purely focusing on the money aspect at the expense of everything else in your life, at the expense of your mindset and your time. Welcome to the Self-Paid Club podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Peddle, a small-town wife and mom who started my first business at 17 and never looked back. For over a decade, I've been helping other ambitious souls build insane wealth in both life and business. We believe that success comes from growth as the whole person, mastering your time, money, and mindset for a balance between all three. Ditch the hustle culture and achieve your dream life by embracing your own vibe, doing it weird, and doing it your way. This is your destination for all things business strategy, mindset work, success, personal development, marketing, and everything in between. If your mission is to build an empire while having fun, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome to the first official episode of the Self-Paid Club podcast. Today's going to be a juicy one because we're talking all about hustle culture. That good old term that makes you feel like you're not good enough if you're not working 24/7 as an entrepreneur. I think we've all felt like that. When we're taking a break, we feel like we should be working, and when we are working, we feel like we should be taking a break and time to rest, right? It's a lose-lose in every single scenario. So today we're talking about hustle culture. Have you ever heard the saying, entrepreneurs quit working 40 hours a week for someone else to work 80 hours a week for themselves? That in itself is hustle culture. Hustling 24/7 and putting everything else on the back burner for that non-stop grind. It's been glorified in the business world for some reason. It's been glorified, like if you're hustling and you're working non-stop and you're grinding for your dreams, then you're doing something right. And I'm here to challenge that. Hustling all the time is not sustainable, and it's not going to get you anywhere in the long term. Maybe in the short term, you'll see some benefits with your business, but you can get there a different way as well. It doesn't have to be like this. If you get sucked into this, especially during your first year of business, it can leave you feeling like you're not doing enough, you're overwhelmed by the length of your to-do list, right? You know what that's like. You're not good enough. You might start comparing yourself to others who are further ahead of you in your industry because they've already done all these tasks that are hanging over your head and so on, right? Just a big jumble of negative thoughts swirling around in your head. Hustle culture doesn't just affect people in their first year of business either. It can happen to us at any stage. Even if you're making 20K months or 100K months and trying to hit your next income goal, you might feel like you need to work more in order to achieve it. That more that you're feeling pulled to work is not actually serving you, because then you're just living for the future instead of the now. You're essentially wishing and working your life away day by day as you have your head to the grindstone. That's not a way to live. That's not a way to work. And that's not why you started your business. You didn't start a business to work 24/7. In fact, I know one of the major reasons that you started. Freedom. Freedom to make your own schedule, take time away from work without missing a paycheck, freedom to work less hours than at your 9 to 5, and instead of working all that time, spending your time with your spouse, your kids, and doing things that you actually love. I'm here to bet that freedom is part of your why and part of the reason that you started this. Now, if you're hustling 24/7, you're not acting on your desires. You're not following your why. You're neglecting everything else in life that matters, and that's why hustle culture is not sustainable in the long term. Because you can't hustle your life away and just ignore everything else long term. Maybe short term you can do that, but everything's going to suffer. I'm speaking from experience. I was trapped in the nonstop grind. Working 16-hour days for years, not wanting to say yes to go out with friends, or making time for family when I should have. I was just eating, sleeping, and working because I wanted to build something amazing for myself and my family, when ultimately it was hurting my relationships, not making them better. It's ironic. You can achieve success a way better way than this. You don't have to sacrifice your freedom in order to achieve freedom. That doesn't make sense. You can't sacrifice the very thing that you're chasing. Freedom and success require balance. You don't want to build wealth in your business, but be the poorest person on the planet when it comes to your quality of life, relationships, and the ability to enjoy just the everyday life. It needs balance. And that's why I'm so passionate about balance, and I specialize in helping women build insane wealth in both life and business. Because as a business coach, I can't just ignore the personal development side. Growth in all areas is what will make you feel happier, fulfilled, and abundant, not just growth in your business. So as a business mentor, it's also my obligation to be a mindset mentor. That's my belief. I believe that you have to have both. And if I'm teaching you only business, it's not serving you. You need to learn about the mindset work as well, and mindset shifts that you should be making alongside your business growth. How do we get that balance that I'm talking about? How do we ditch hustle culture for good? Well, after over a decade of working with entrepreneurs in all industries and niches, I've drilled it down to 3 things: time, money, and mindset. That's what you have to balance. These together form the 3 pillars of freedom. This is my trademarked concept of balancing time, money, and mindset to experience true freedom in your life. You can think of it like a 3-legged pedestal or stool of sorts. So if one pillar or one leg lags behind or is neglected, then everything's going to crumble. You can't have the balance between 3-legged pedestal if one is stronger than the other 2. You need a balance between all 3 legs or all 3 pillars in order to have that true freedom. And that is why the 24/7 hustle culture isn't sustainable. Because with that, you're purely focusing on the money aspect at the expense of everything else in your life, at the expense of your mindset and your time. If you only focus on money, then the other 2 pillars are too weak to hold up that balance. In the Self-Paid Club, we do things differently. We focus on growth as the whole person and building wealth in all areas of our lives, not just in business. So your answer is, in order to permanently ditch hustle culture, you have to leave the nonstop grind in the past. You have to leave it in the past. Just let go. You don't need to be working 24/7 to reach success. I promise you. I've been on both sides of it, and leaving that grind and that hustle in the past is the greatest thing that I've ever done for myself. And I want that for you too. You need to be focusing on a more balanced life by simultaneously prioritizing personal development, shifting your mindset, and working on yourself alongside your business. You need to practice better controlling and organizing your time through setting boundaries, goals, creating plans to get there, and getting rid of the stuff that's just taking up your time uselessly, right? You always have enough time. It just depends on how you choose to use it. So if you choose to play victim to being time poor, that's what you're going to get. You're not going to have enough time in the day. You have to choose how you use your time wisely. All right, I'm going to give you a few ways to implement the 3-pillar philosophy in your life. To make better use of your time towards your business, instead of working 24/7 on your business goals, try simplifying it. Try simplifying instead. Simplify by, you could cut down the amount of work you have to do by narrowing down your marketing somehow. In some way, right? So maybe picking only one social platform to focus on, cut out the other ones, just focus on one and master that one. Or you could only push one offer that you're selling, just focus on selling that one offer and grow it really big. If you're multi-passionate like I am, you could try focusing on just one business rather than multiple businesses at once to prevent spreading yourself too thin. I had multiple businesses I was running in the past, all at the same time, and it's overwhelming, right? For me, it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't working because I was spreading myself too thin. So I closed a couple of the businesses, and now I'm focusing solely on my coaching to help other women because I want to make an impact in the business world. I want to make an impact to help you grow your dreams and your business. So don't spread yourself too thin. Cut down, simplify. Now for time, try to prioritize your time by setting boundaries and learning how to say no. If something isn't serving you or getting you closer to your vision, say no. Don't feel like you have to say yes to every opportunity or every question that people ask you. You can say no, and you should say no unapologetically because you're protecting your time, the one resource that you can't get back. You need to practice setting goals and then outlining the important tasks that will help you get to those goals. So leaving busy work in the past, like answering emails, checking your notifications all day long, right? You need to be setting aside time blocks for these things, like checking your social media maybe for 15 minutes in the morning and then 15 minutes in the evening, just for example. Obviously, adjust to however it works best for you, but set aside time blocks for this busy work. If you have to check emails, just do it once a day for 10 minutes, say, or 30 minutes, however long you need. But just do it once a day. Don't keep checking throughout the day because then you're putting off the tasks that will actually get you closer to your goals. And then the third pillar of mindset, you need to focus on developing your money mindset along the way. You can do this in a lot of different ways. You can read books. You can listen to podcasts like this one. You can surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be and learn from them. Prioritize learning from people who have already achieved what you're trying to achieve. And not people who preach working 24/7. Learn from people who have balance in their life. People who prioritize spending time with family and taking random days off when they can. People who say it's important to rest on the weekends or at least a couple times a week, right? Don't idolize people who work 24/7 because then you're learning from the wrong type of person if you're trying to achieve this balance and you're trying to ditch hustle culture. Don't learn from people who are stuck in it. If you take anything at all from this episode, this is going to be the best piece of advice you ever hear. Ready? Personal development and business growth go hand in hand. You can't be growing your business and leaving your personal development behind. You have to grow into a new level of yourself if you hope to grow your business to a new level. Every new level of business will require a new level of you. So write this down. Personal development and business growth go hand in hand. Write it down, circle it, stick it to your computer, put it somewhere you'll see it every day to remind yourself to focus on all three pillars, time, money, and mindset, and then make it your lifestyle. For even more in-depth practical strategies on how to weave the three pillars of time, money, and mindset into your own life, I'm inviting you to join my free 3 Days to Freedom Challenge. It's a mini course where I coach you every day on one of the three pillars of freedom. This training will change your life if you let it, and it's absolutely free. To join, visit samanthapetal.com/freedom challenge. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Self-Paid Club podcast. If you found value in this episode, please rate the show and leave a review. It will help other ambitious entrepreneurs just like you discover the podcast so they can shift their reality to one of freedom too. And we can make an even bigger impact in the world together. Until next time, practice that balance and stay wealthy.